Hello, boys and girls. How are we doing? Are we all good? Did we have a good weekend? Anything significant happen over the weekend? Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Kevy 7 times is here, boys and girls. Oh, this has been the look on my face for the last 15 hours or so. And every time I think about it, I just start chuckling some more. It is absurd. And I love it. Hopefully you all enjoyed the stream of Showdown over the weekend as much as I did. Just chuckling forever. How's all the sound stuff? Because we were fiddling with the Go XLR last night. Is the music the right volume? Can you hear the alerts again? Are they the right kind of volume? Everything's been fiddled with. The Showdown ruins everything. Including Ben's mood. And we just win another one. It's lovely. I was invited to the Lowdown, but I was given the choice between the Lowdown and the Showdown, and I'm never gonna go on the Lowdown as a choice instead of the Showdown. I want to keep winning it. I'll go on the Lowdown the next time there's no room for me in the Showdown, maybe. Thank you for the subs that are already coming in, by the way. The Littlest 2K, Reese, Jim, Alex, thank you to all of you for the subs. Bunch of heroes, one and all. But we are back to reality today because it seems like forever since the last time I've streamed in the Leamington save. It is this time last week. Last Monday was the last time we streamed in this save because last week was mad. We had the network game. We had 3 Showdown streams. Poor old Chris working his little fingers to the bone trying to get all the edits ready to come out on LOLLUJO 2 this week. But we are back to normality this week with normal streams. We'll be live most afternoons. And we've got to try not to get sacked from Leamington because the season hasn't started as well as it could have done. On that note, we're going to do the YouTube intro now. So brace yourselves. It's YouTube o'clock. I'm going to try and get in the habit of remembering to kill the music for the YouTube intro because when I watch the videos back, it's jarring to me that you have the music, then the music stops for the intro, then the music starts again. So I'm thinking we have a music-free intro, then the animation, then the music starts with the main video. Remind me to do that, boys and girls. But let's do a YouTube intro. No words came out. I took a deep breath and just started to cough. Oh, I'm not awake. I've had like 3 hours of sleep. We were on the meeting until like 2 a.m. Bad idea. Boys and girls, we're in a little bit of a predicament. As you know, we have been struggling with Leamington over the last few seasons because of these pesky old playoffs. And the board, in their infinite wisdom, have decided that this year we must go up as champions. The only problem is they decided that after we'd done a complete rebuild on the squad and we've not started as quickly as we maybe could have done. We're 12 games in. We're 10 points off the top of the league already. And the board are starting to get grumpy. There we go, boys and girls. And just to put some weight behind that, let's get the music back on. This is the situation. So, as mentioned, the board are looking for me to required win promotion by winning the league. They're disappointed that we're not currently doing that. And whilst also not currently doing that, they're also disappointed that we're struggling to keep within the wage budget and very disappointed that we're not scoring any set pieces. So I've not really got any redeeming qualities in the eyes of the board at the moment. Thankfully, I've got my past performance, which is hopefully standing me in good stead. And the fact we're playing high tempo football they quite like. But aside from all of that, there's not really much in the way of positives. We started the season really poorly. With only 1 win from the first 5 games, a spell of 3 consecutive defeats in there. But then in the last stream last week, we started to turn the form around. A couple of draws leading into a few wins, and now we've won 4 of our last 5. And we are starting to move up the league. This is the shape of our season so far. And we find ourselves just at the base of the playoffs. 7th place, 12 games played, 19 points on the board. But as seems to be the case every season, chasing Port Vale. The one positive, is, like I say, we're chasing Port Vale every year, which means Port Vale are due a big bottle job and a tumble down the league at some point. Ebbsfleet are my main worry, because Ebbsfleet finished second last year and were really, really good. Ebbsfleet have been a problem, and I think being 8 points behind Ebbsfleet at this stage is not ideal at all. But all we can do is keep winning. So let's keep winning. We've got a bit of quite a look at all those games we've got to play in September. It's absolute madness. But we do start things off with a game against bottom of the table Dover and then 21st place Eastleigh. The game might punish me for not loading this save up for a week, but fingers crossed with some easy games to ease us back into normal streaming again. We won't get sacked in the first hour. Need to turn off slow mode. Why? Why do we need to turn off slow mode? What do you possibly need to type that could, I mean, I'm sure the mods will turn it off, but I am intrigued what you possibly need to type so many times that slow mode doesn't stop you from doing it. We had slow mode on because we had like 3,000 people in for the final of the Showdown last night. Have we got a mod in to turn slow mode off, or have I got to figure out how to do it myself? Because I haven't got a clue. I don't know how Twitch works. I've only been streaming for 5 years. I don't know how Twitch works. I'm sure the mods will come and sort it out eventually. If not, I might try and figure it out. But I don't see how slow mode's a massive problem. Users may send messages every 30 seconds. Who needs to post in the chat more than once every 30 seconds? Goodness me. Goodness me. How did the Showdown go? I mean, glance up in the chat at some of the emotes that you're seeing. That'll give you a clue how the Showdown went. We had a lovely old time. What is my director of football up to? Paul Wendo is a right back. Do we need a right back? I feel like we probably do. I can't remember what's been going on with this save. We've just brought a right back in. Do we need another one? How many have we got in the squad? I mean, we don't really need another right back. Thanks. I mean, it's a nice offer and everything. But we just don't really need him. So let's cancel that. Cancel. There you go. I can't read. I'm so tired. I can't read. For some reason, I can't resub. Anyone know what I can do? What's it saying? You click in the sub button and it's not working. I'm not sure. Like I say, I'm about as far as you can get from being a Twitch expert, so I'm probably not going to be any use to you. I'm no help at all in that kind of situation. Right, does this formation look familiar from last night? One thing that I don't know if anyone noticed that we did to suit the squad that we had, we actually swapped the playmaker around and we had the playmaker here in the Showdown version of this tactic, and this was just a DM. In this version, it probably makes sense to leave things as it is because it's been working, although this guy, not ideally suited to be a playmaker, but then he's Goodrum. I mean, it might... You know what? Let's Showdown this bad boy up. So this is the Showdown version. Never before seen in this save. This is the Showdown version of the tactic. The one other thing is because we had generic goalkeeper B, we had him as a support sweeper keeper. I don't think Wooster is up to doing that, so he can't be an exact replica of the Showdown version, but I think that's probably decent enough. For those alerts coming through, I can barely hear the alerts. Did you hear that? Is it just on my end it's not really working? Did you hear an alert there? Was it clear enough? We can turn it up a little bit. Adwin, thank you very much for the gifted sub, regardless. Did I thank Alex for a gifted sub 8 minutes ago? I hope I did. No sound for the alerts. I mean, there definitely was some sound. It might have just been very quiet. I'm just going to replay that alert. If I can. Is that better? That feels like a better volume to me.
Adwin84 gifted a tier 1 sub till Dove.
That's better, isn't it? Is it too loud now? We've got a penalty here. All this fiddling. I've not watched any of the games so far, but I look up and we've got a penalty. And we're 1-0 up. I've got resist the urge to start whacking on that bell because Anna will kill me if I start ringing the bell every afternoon. She'll just come in here and murder me. It's bad enough that, I mean, she lets me do it for the showdown because she enjoys me winning the showdown. She doesn't care if I get sacked at Leamington or not. She's a cruel woman. Right, 1-0 up. Dover are bottom of the league, so let's not read too much into it. It does indicate that our bad start to the season wasn't just because I shuffled the entire squad around and signed an entirely new team. Also, the fact that we played a lot of the bigger and better teams early on, and now we're playing the lower half teams. I guess it suggests our form is happening when it's supposed to be happening. This is what we don't want to see, though. Port Vale already ahead in their game as well. We need them to start dropping some points soon. Although, I suspect if we end up finishing third, I don't think I'm going to get sacked. If we're scraping into the playoffs and then bottle it in the quarterfinal, I think I'll probably get sacked. Oh, that's a lovely goal. I'm fairly confident, though, that if we finish third and lose at Wembley again, I don't think I'm getting fired for that. I hope I'm not getting fired for that. Or it'd be horrible to get sacked by Leamington. They're supposed to love me. I'll try the tried and tested off and on again. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do, off and on again. Right, what's going on transfer deadline day as well? Because obviously transfer deadline day is going on while all this is happening as well. Is there anything major that I need to know about? Aubameyang's in Barcelona ahead of a proposed loan from Arsenal, apparently. That's interesting. Have Arsenal got a striker lined up? I know Aubameyang's not really been playing. But Arsenal need a striker. Is that happening? Nope, nobody. Brilliant. Yeah, I've seen the Christian Eriksen news. That's been rumoured for a little while, hasn't it? Arsenal have no one lined up. Wow. Smarty, thank you very much for the 7 months. Van der Beek's going to Everton. That's probably a good move for all concerned, isn't it? On loan, is that? Or... Oh, yeah, I can just see it on the ticker at the bottom. On loan to Everton. A 6-month loan to Everton for him is a good move. It's a good player for Everton to get, and it gives him a chance to play some football and sort out a permanent move somewhere proper for next season when Everton get relegated with Lampard. Newcastle are spending 70 million. Say, what on earth are they buying? And why have they left it till deadline day? They've got all this money. Why have they left all their business till the last minute? It feels, I mean, if you're one of these players coming in on deadline day, it feels very much like you're the last resort to try and keep them in the Premier League. They've spent all month trying to get better options. They've got to deadline day and they're just spending up their budget so they get a new one next year. Oh dear me. Any posh transfers? As far as I'm aware of, our business, certainly our incoming business, was pretty much complete when we signed Fuchs last week. Smodics might be going to Oxford. Hopefully only on loan, because if we get relegated, we'll need him next year. He's a great League One player. Dembele's going to Bournemouth. If they're paying the money, excellent. I think with Newcastle, it's more spending a whole month trying to not get rinsed, but then giving up and paying up. Oh, silly gooses. Morata's rumoured for Arsenal. That's an interesting one. Dele Alli to Everton as well. Johnson Clark Harris for 6 million. I will drive him wherever he wants to go for that. Burnley getting Weghorst for half the money that they were given for Wood. Seems like excellent business on their part. Fee for Dembele. This is Sariki Dembele we're talking about, isn't it? At Posh. Fee for Dembele is apparently 1 million, rising to 1.5 million. I mean, it's a lot less than we would have hoped for a month ago. But in that month, he's basically started refusing to play for us. So... that, I mean, it's player power there, really. I think we would have held out and just let him go on a free, whereas I think he's been like, well, I've carried you the first half of the season. If you're now not going to let me go, I'm just not going to play. And There's no point keeping... I mean, there was a benefit to keeping him to the end of the season if he would then keep us up. But now we're in a situation where he's not playing. He's probably disrupting the squad. And he's leaving on a free in the summer if we don't sell him. I guess with it being deadline day, it's now a case of, well, if he's not going to play anyway, a fiver's better than letting him go for nothing. Unless we're looking to send a message to the rest of the squad. But yeah, if we get 1 million, 1.5 million for him, it's 1 million more than we had previously. We're absolutely destroying Dover here. And Dombele's getting loaned back to the club Spurs bought him from for 55 million. Wow. Love Spurs. Transfer market says Posh paid 4 million for Oliver Norburn, who was worth 100,000. Why? We didn't. It was about 300,000. It might have been 400,000. Maybe you're reading an extra zero, or they've put an extra zero on. At most 400,000 for Norburn, who's going to Blackpool, isn't he, for a similar sort of fee? After being with us for 5 months. Transfer market is at best a guess anyway. The values don't mean anything. Yeah, that value's nonsense. There's no way we'd be spending £4 million on a 29-year-old. The most we've ever spent on a player is like 1.5. We put 350k in the FM database. Yeah, let's see. That feels about right. I mean, all Posh's transfer business is always undisclosed. Because we're dodgy geezers. But yeah, something in the 350k region feels about right. Our database is more reliable than transfer market values. See, Football Manager know. They know what they're doing. Please check the man, the legend, Stuart Dallas. I mean, he must be retired, surely. Surely he must be retired. We're so deep into this save, yeah. Is that... How does he spell his Stuart? What kind of Stuart is he? I don't think we have any Stuart Dallas, I'm afraid. That's a shame. Would have liked to bring him in as assistant manager after his Showdown performance over the weekend. Moses, thank you very much for your 4 months. Lovely stuff. Ev's looking dishy with his new haircut. Can you see I've ballsed it up a little bit? Well done. This is the perils of cutting your own hair. I've been cutting my own hair since the pandemic started, but I've ballsed it up a little bit here. I've gone a little bit too high up. And then kept the rest of it where it normally is, but I've got this bit here, which I need it to get a little bit longer so I can just kind of push that forward like that and you won't notice. But yeah, I've got a little bit. Oh, Kev, you've ballsed up your hair. What are you going to do? What's my Showdown haircut as well? Grouchy Wrestler. What a name. Thank you for 10 months. Which players do I pick for the next Showdown? Jack does my drafting for me now, doesn't he? I don't think I need to get involved in it. You can afford a hairdresser. Why would I? What's the point? My hair's fine. I learnt to cut it myself. I invested in a set of clippers and barber's scissors. So I had like a £50 investment at the start of the pandemic when none of us could get haircuts. I learnt how to use them. Why would I stop? Plus, I don't even know where to... Since I moved house, I've not even found a barber around here. I went to the same barber for like 30 years where I used to live. I don't know that I'm comfortable going to a new barber. I'm not driving all the way back to Peterborough for a haircut. Yeah, and that's the key thing that Rob's put there. It's about the time, isn't it? What is it with dodgy right backs and my director of football? No, thank you. Yeah, assume, is a haircut still a tenner? I'm all right for a tenner. But what I don't want to do is take 3 hours out of my day when it takes 10 minutes to just go up to the bathroom. And to be fair, I do then get 2 days of Anna shouting at me because there's hair everywhere. Hair on the toothpaste this morning. Been cutting my own hair for years. Best £15 I ever spent. See? We're a haircutting club. Aaron Ramsey's going to Rangers, apparently. Didn't I read he was going somewhere else this morning? I'm sure there was somewhere else he was going. Barcelona offer Ousmane Dembele to Arsenal as part of the Aubameyang deal, apparently. How does he fit in at Arsenal? I don't really see where he fits. Seems like a bit of a strange one. Right, Chang, he also wants to be a defensive midfielder. Oh, I forgot about Sherwood. He was quite good, wasn't he? We signed him last week. I remember now. Right, get Goodrum back up onto the bench. We don't need 2 left backs on the bench either. Oh my word, I forgot about Warren. The greatest right back in non-league history. Right. I mean, if Arsenal want to come in and take Sariki Dembele for big money, I'll be all right with that. That works for me. He fits in a little bit better. He's been playing up front on his own all season. He can be Arsenal's new centre forward. For the bargain price of just £10 million. Ousmane Dembele to PSG is a done deal for free in the summer, according to a guy called Santi. Well, if Santi says it. Give Posh Aubameyang for Sariki Dembele. I mean, that would work. I could probably get on board with that. Just a straight swap. I could get on board with that, probably. Reluctantly. As long as Aubameyang tries. Ben has tweeted me. What's he got to say for himself? Probably a congratulations tweet, I imagine. Hello, mate. Only me. I've been thinking about it. If you could never mention how many times you've won the Showdown ever again, I and everyone else would really appreciate it. Cheers, mate. I know you'll consider this seriously. I mean, I'll take it under advisement. I'm not making any promises. He'll love to. Once he's won 10 in 30 years' time, he'll be all for knowing how many that I won. It's all long-term storytelling. I said to him last night, all I'm doing is setting him up the perfect underdog story, because when he eventually beats me in a final, which has got just purely based on the laws of chance, at some point he'll beat me in a final. If we carry on doing showdowns every month for the rest of eternity, there will come a time where he beats me in a final, just purely because every outcome will happen eventually. So when he does, there you go, that's his story written. He should be thanking me for this. When he gets his only showdown victory against Kevy 38 times, he'll feel on top of the world. I'm doing it for him. You should take as many minutes to consider his request as showdowns you've won. I mean, I can't have 7 minutes of dead air on the stream. That's no good. Am I going to wear my crown for the next network game? Only if I need someone to get me on a call with Jerry the King Lawler. I need to learn how he does it, because he sits there commentating on the wrestling with his headset and a crown on. I just can't do it. It certainly doesn't go across the top of the band. It looks silly like that. But then if I try and put the crown under the headphones, it doesn't fit. I tried to balance the headphones on the back of my head like that, and they just kept falling down and sliding down my face. So I don't even really... What do I even need headphones for? All I'm doing is listening to elevator music, and it tells me when someone subscribes. I could just pay attention. I don't know when people subscribe. I haven't looked into the new Tuxedo yet. Maybe we could look together. Should we go Tuxedo shopping together? Use earbuds. I mean, I could, couldn't I? But I use these headphones for editing because these are the ones Nerdphonic told me to buy. So these are just the ones attached to my computer. But yeah, I could just... I've got 2 pairs of AirPods. I could just have one of them sat next to the computer at all times, specifically for the purpose of doing this. And then I wouldn't have to look like a Wally with a big pair of headphones on. And I could wear my crown. Right, we'll just shuffle around to that, I think. Curty reckons he's going back to the lowdown. That'd be a shame. Curty's too good on the lowdown to be wasted in the showdown. Curty's the heart and soul of the lowdown. I don't think Lawler really wears the crown when he's on commentary, doesn't he? Interesting. Moss Bros do a great purple velvet dinner suit. I mean, I'll level with you. I don't buy from Moss Bros. There's a discount tuxedo place. Hold on, if I Google cheap tuxedo, I only have to buy the top half. Dobell, that's the name of the company that I've used before. So Dobell, because they're reasonably priced. White tuxedos. Velvet, get out of here. Go away. Let me click on the velvet tuxedos. Oh, which one am I getting? There's some choices here, boys and girls. Which one of these am I going for? That one's very nice. Navy paisley. What a tuxedo that is. Or this pink. Is that pink? That looks red to me. That is quite nice, isn't it? We're going for the pink one. Do they do this in fat boy sizes? See, that's not close to big enough for me. Tell me they do these in fat boy sizes. Jacket size. I don't really know what I am. The amount of jackets I buy, you'd think I'd know. It's somewhere in this region, I think. 56, maybe? Nope, no velvet tuxedos. Oh, no. I got to go on a diet to get a velvet dinner jacket. Oh, that's so upsetting. Why is there a whole section for blue tuxedos? Is this a... Oh, look at that. Oh, I want that one. I might be going on a diet. That's a thing of beauty. Because I'm sure they're normal ones. Like, I got my white and my black one from this place. Unless they've stopped doing fat boy sizes. But I'm fairly sure that in the white ones they go big. Yeah, see, that's the one I've got. So I just need to look at all tuxedos in my size. Are you serious? The only one they have in stock is the white one I've already got. Ah. Ben just put me on the lowdown. Devastated. I'm wearing a tuxedo then. I'm buying a new tuxedo. I've got to wear my new tuxedo. I'm going to need the Showdown tie in bow tie form. I don't mind wearing that pattern, but it needs to be a bow tie. I come with demands. Managed to lose the weight just to fit into a funky tux. You deserve it for free. I agree. Let's get that company sponsoring me. On the lowdown, I have to wear their school uniform. We'll see. Yeah, a tuxedo t-shirt. I could do. I mean, I'm sure there are other shops that sell tuxedos. It's not a lost cause. That's just, I know they do cheap ones because I've bought them from them before. Every 7 times does what he wants. Apparently he does. Right. Shall we win another football match? I'm playing another team in the relegation zone. Oh, my mouse is about to die. Hold on. And my cable's wrapped around a He-Man figure. Just need to plug the mouse in. Is that actually going to go in? There we go. Beautiful stuff. Right, where were we? Transfer deadline day. Is Aubameyang going to Peterborough? Did we agree on that one? What's this lowdown I keep hearing about? It's the Sky Sports News thing. Sky Sports News style thing. Or Soccer Saturday style thing that they do for the lowdown on the Showdown channel. I don't know if you're asking because you don't know or because you're dissing them. I'm in support of either. But yeah, if you actually don't know, it's quite good. If you do know, yeah, they're jokers, aren't they? I gotta decide where to pitch my response based on whether you actually know the answer to the question. Genuinely don't know. In that case, it's really good. You should watch it. Then once you've watched it, come back here and we'll diss it together. And then we're happy. I think the replays, I know the replays are available on the twitch.tv/FM streamer showdown. Is Ben still here? He is still here. Is it FM streamer showdown? Is that the Twitter? The Twitch, sorry? I think it is. Mods, you'll know. You've got it as a command. You can go and watch the perspective of all the different matches. It's pretty good. Obviously, as and when I'm on there, it will get even better. There you go. It is FM Streamer Showdown. See, Kev knows. I am something of an expert at these things. Right, let's win another football match. We've started nicely. I haven't lost a football match since like 8 o'clock on Saturday. I'm in form. Lovely stuff. Well, I assume a lot of you have got Sky Sports News on for deadline day as well. I want to know where this interview is. Are they in the O2 with a deadline day backdrop behind them? It looks like there's O2. It could be any generic shopping centre or office building. I think that's the corner of the O2 where they've got the little Sky Studio thing. It's Sky HQ. What a wangy name for anything. In the reception area. Why are they doing it out there? The fire alarm got off in the studio or something. Why aren't they allowed in the studio? Why do we keep whistling the ball past that post? That's twice in this match we've done that. And Dombele to Leon with an option to buy for 65 million euros. Wow. I mean, he was good in the Showdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was interest for him after he was such a good super sub in the Showdown over the weekend. Right. Why are we not winning? This lot are in the relegation zone. This is no good at all. There's no use to anybody. Right, come on, we'll have a goal now. Please and thank you. Here you go, we've got one coming. Not supporting fellow Twitch streamer Fabrizio Romano. I don't really know who that guy is. I see he appears on Twitter quite regularly with often nonsense, from what I can tell. I don't know who he is. What does he actually do? Is he just a Twitter account? Or does he have a real... I can't believe I'm saying this. Does he have a real job as well? Or is he just a Twitter man? Sports journo. For who? Did I not consider using the magic sponge? I did use the magic sponge before the second leg of the final. The perfect time to use it. He's a self-employed sports journalist. Oh, can I say I'm that? Is that all that I need to be able to do break? I've still got the Showdown graphics on, I've just realised. What's that about? I always remove them. Oh dear, I'm advertising the Showdown by mistake. This will never do. I need to replace all of those graphics with me doing this. Can you do that? I don't actually know how to do it. Good job I've not recorded a YouTube video this morning. I'd be sending them a bill. Right, let's get Gilks on. He can go back there. That works, and we can take him off for him. Easy peasy. I've done this after every Showdown for the last 2 years. What? Streamed the next day and realised they're still on there. I know it's never snuck into a YouTube video. Very careful about that. Got to maintain the integrity of non-league to legends. The Showdown doesn't exist in that universe. I've seen it on YouTube. You have not. I thought it did on Home. Maybe it did. Home's okay. Home's a secondary series. Ah, Mike's here. Hello. I'm a little bit disappointed you let me score that one extra goal, so I can't do 8-2 jokes. Did it on YouTube on the stream replays, but that's okay. I'm glad you got one more. Has Jack said anything since I won? He just said congratulations. He said he's a little bit in awe of me. Wishes he was as good looking as I am. Just wishes he had. This is what I heard anyway. Just general praise. Quite a lot of general praise. He's a big fan. Looked up to me. Yeah, wishes he was as tall as I am. Has to look up at me to have a conversation. Cranes his neck. Do they on the getting back to Sky Sports News again? I'm an advert for Sky Sports News today, apparently. Do they need seconds on the timer in the bottom right of the screen? Is that essential? Do they need it timing down to the second? That seems like a smidgen of overkill. I hope they don't bring that into the Football Manager deadline day. Every time you click continue, it advances 1 second. Right, that's 3 out of 3 to start the stream, which means we're now looking much more like it. Only 7 points off the top, up to 4th place. Have the board chilled out a little bit. Yes, they have. See? That's all we needed to do. That's all we needed to do. Don't forget to remove the Showdown. Oh, I can't do that while I'm streaming. It's like a 5-page document to tell you how to do that. It's complicated. Posh are being taken over in this game's universe. Are they, by golly? Jimmy, thank you very much for the 5 gifted.
Jimmy Zoo's just gifted 5 subs.
What a wonderful thing. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Nitro's in. It's Mr. 7 times. It is Mr. 7 times. That's what they call me. That's what they call me when they're showing the ultimate level of respect. How are we? I am feeling good. I am operating on very little sleep. Finished the post-Showdown meeting at like 2 a.m. tried to get into bed, but the adrenaline's still pumping. I'm such a child. I get giddy about the Showdown. So I didn't get to sleep until like 3:30. And then the 7 o'clock alarm went off, and I was not ready to get up at 7 a.m. this morning. So I am a sleepy boy. So expect me to make terrible decisions this afternoon. The worst thing is I've got to go into the doctor's after I'm finished the stream and take in my sleep study, because unbelievably they won't let me email it to them. Despite it being a PDF, they won't let me email the report that I've had because there's no email address you can email. So I've got to take it in. I've got to print it out, take it in so they can then scan it in and email it onto the consultant. But one of the things they said when I spoke to them last week was they had to make sure that I don't suffer from excessive tiredness, because if I suffer from excessive tiredness, they'll suspend my driving license while I'm waiting to get a CPAP machine, because the sleep apnea is so bad, apparently. And I said to them on the phone, I don't suffer from excessive tiredness at all. I suspect I've had sleep apnea for years and years and years. I'm just used to it, but I don't sleep massively. I don't ever sleep during the day. I don't, I'm not falling asleep while I'm working or driving or anything like that. But if I go in there after 3 hours sleep like a zombie, say, here's the thing, remember, I don't get tired, but I do. I'm just while you're scanning it, I'm just going to have a little snooze over here. I'm going to have to explain to them that I was up all night, getting excitable. What do you talk about for 3+ hours on the post-Showdown chat? All sorts of stuff. We basically go through each member of the audience individually and say what we don't like about them. I mean, just stuff, stuff. We review how the weekend went. What did we like? What didn't we like? What would we like to do better? How did I manage to win again? That kind of thing. Right, we could use a goal here, please, gentlemen. Time to retire from the Showdown now. Absolutely not. I would never do them the satisfaction of offering a retirement from anything ever. That would just make the old man jokes even worse. They'll just have to stop inviting me. And then I'll always be able to say, well, I'm still available. You're choosing to not bring in your greatest ever champion because you're afraid of him. That'll be my line when I'm 90. Still available. I'm still here. You're choosing not to bring me in. That's on you. I'm actually going to do this. Is Curtie not an old man? Curtie is like 6 months older than me, I think. At what point would Ben start making the twists ways to just hurt Kev? I mean, that's what this one was. I'm known as the best drafter. So they tried to take my draft away from me. I won anyway. I've never been in a Showdown where they've done any of the Legends stuff. I think they've done that a couple of times. I've never played in one of them. I'd quite like to do that. Right, we need a goal here. Older shut it down to 10 men. We've been in good form. Can we have a goal, please? I mean, that's point blank range. It says at the bottom that was an absolute sitter. Oh, very close. Ah, that's frustrating. I mean, Aldershot are level with us in the league, so it's not hideous that we've not beaten them, but it is a problem that it will start to drift us back down the table again. We've got to check in on here. See, they're now disappointed again. We've got to really carefully manage this board this season. So although we're still on quite a long unbeaten run, a really long unbeaten run, inexplicably the board are disappointed after that run because we started so badly. I say inexplicably, there is an explanation built into the sentence. Ben did make it very clear this was the oldest final ever. Combined age of 80, I think, between me and Curtie. Just shows these whippersnappers don't know what they're doing. Christian Eriksen has signed for Brentford for 6 months. Yeah, I saw them doing the announcements and selling shirts in their club shop that have his name on but no number. You'd think they'd be a bit more organised and just decide on a number for him quick before they start selling shirts. Right, Woking are in 4th place. Oh, we've got to play Ebbsfleet as well soon. See, we're getting a difficult run of games again. This isn't in the script. They're upset that Sherwood's being played outside of his preferred position. What's his preferred position? Played mainly as a central midfielder. Well, I mean, he's been playing really well in the position we're playing him. He's playing a lot. Does the position really matter? Come on, we're friends. Simon, I don't know who you are. We're not friends. You screwed me over with Armani Gilks. You've been manager of Coventry for too many years. I want your job. Give me your job. You're a friend. You're not a friend, Simon. I can't change my team for him right now. I don't want him to be recalled because he's been a key player. But we need him in the position he's playing. That's why he's playing there. Oh, that is a nice jacket on Sky right now. I will hydrate. And there's your posture check. You know, for all the hype about pressing and crossing, it was really neat that the final came down to a narrow diamond and something very defensive. The narrow diamond is quickly becoming or I'd say at this point, I think it's safe to say it has become my favourite formation at the moment. We're using it in every save now. Because it works. Considering this game, crossing was so overpowered early on in FM22, I think they've tried to balance that to such an extent that they've made it go the other way. We want them the other way around. And playing systems that go through the middle is the way forward now. Devastating through the middle. Any posh rumours? Well, I think we've pretty much concluded our business. Incoming anyway. We need to clear a few players out more than anything. The diamond killed everything. Jack's 3 up front, the strikerless. It was awesome to watch. I mean, it helped that we had players that suited it perfectly. For the playoffs, I was unbeaten using 4-3-1-2 old school Kev style. Nice. News on Dembele. Not yet. Apparently he's going to Bournemouth. But they need to put some money up. Does the Got Diamond only work on Gegenpress? I've did a control possession version of it in one of the saves. I forget when. Might have been the beta save we did with Peterborough. So not the non-League Legend version of Peterborough. I think the beta save with Peterborough, we did a diamond with control possession for a bit, which was quite nice. We shouldn't talk about this too loud though, because people will start thinking I use a variety of different tactics and select the ones that are most suited to the players that I've got, and that will never do. I need to keep the narrative going that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a 4-3-1-2 merchant. No, 4-2-3-1 merchant. That's all I know how to do. Gotta keep that narrative going. Why did second yellow card play a back three with my draft squad? Because he always plays a back three. So he just played his usual system with a squad that wasn't built for it. Whereas we abandoned my favorite showdown system is the 4-3-3 vertical tiki-taka. That's what I've won most showdowns with. It's usually really effective. So we tend to draft a squad that's going to suit that. But we saw a couple of times on Saturday that it just didn't work with those players that we had. So we dropped it quickly. Had to adapt. Certainly didn't expect to be using a diamond all weekend. Right. We need to demand more. We can't lose. We can't get back into full form. This will be a problem. Couple more stream Showdown wins. I'll be able to buy a house in Sunderland. How much is a house in Sunderland? What would I do with one if I bought it? Do I think I'd have still won it with my original 9th seeded draft? Or just do... I mean, difficult to say I would have won it because it didn't have that star power that you get from Salah. Salah was so crucial. When there was 5 superstar players in that draft, and knowing that I wasn't going to get any of them, it was always going to be an uphill battle. I mean, I've won with squads very similar to that squad before. So I think if we'd have got a favourable run, I don't see why not. Certainly wouldn't have seen me in the bottom half of the league table or in any kind of relegation playoff situation. But without Salah there to just have his moments of genius, maybe you don't dominate quite the way we dominated yesterday. Rashford did do really well, but we had Werner and Jesus in the squad I originally drafted, and both of them play that exact role that Rashford played. Wasn't it more Rashford than Salah? No. It was Salah. Rashford was just taking advantage of the space that Salah created and the chances that Salah created. Rashford was just quick and beating the offside trap. But Werner and Jesus both do that as well. We would have, with the original squad, we'd have had Grealish in behind Jesus probably, with Werner out wide. Do you think constantly starting at lower league teams helps me to adapt? Probably. Lost to the winner and my originally drafted squad came runner-up. Can I take some sort of victory from that? No, you can't. I'm afraid. I am a monster. Andy, thank you very much for the prime. The next showdown is... Has it been announced? Am I allowed to say? Is Ben still here? I think I'm allowed to say. It's... Mike, is it announced? Are we allowed to say when the next showdown is? He said it on stream. Fine then. Yeah, it's the last weekend of February. If it turns out I wasn't supposed to say that, Mike said it. Stitch him up. He said it twice on stream, got confused about the one after both times. I haven't even looked at the one after. I think the plan is to get back into the routine of it being the last weekend of every month. But it doesn't always work out like that. So I think that's the rough plan they're aiming for. Whether or not that's what actually ends up happening is subject to circumstances and whatnot. Ben tweeted it as well about an hour ago. Well, there you go then. Sorted. Is it too early to start making Kevy 8 times t-shirts? Well, we haven't. I mean, I feel like it would be, that's like encouraging wasteful shirt buying practices. That's why we haven't done them for any of the previous ones. What's the point in you having a shirt that only lasts you a month and then you have to bin it off to get the new one? I'm not interested in that kind of consumerism. What I recommend you do is you get a chalkboard shirt and just change the number out with a piece of chalk. A shirt, yeah, a shirt like this, and just a piece of chalk, write the number on. And then you're sorted. Oh, I'm so desperately trying to stifle yawns. Oh, if my doctor is watching, there's reasons for this. I don't have excessive tiredness. Which bio needs to change? Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah, we'll get on that. I might use that thing FM Girl did as the as my Twitch banner because it's really cool. I'm just trying to find it now. This is really cool. Might make that my Twitch banner. Oh, just in time for us to score a goal as well. Lovely stuff. How long did I wear the Schalke shirt? It's like 2 days. Oh, it's disallowed. What chair do I have? This is my new chair. This is a Secret Labs chair. Don't know if you can see the logo on it. It's a Secret Labs chair. I've only had it a couple of days. Too early for me to review it yet, although it is much more comfortable than the one I was using before. Oh, we're going to be offside from this. We can't do short corners with this team. We're incompetent. Vlog channel says I'm 38 and the description says Anna is at uni. I mean, it's also only had one video on it in the last 6 weeks, so I don't think it really matters, does it? That description is relevant to most of the content on the channel. Oh, we're in here. Look. Oh, it's a lovely goal. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Need an uncomfortable chair to keep me awake. What I need to do is to get my feet off of my pedals underneath. Not that I'm doing any pedaling, but it's comfortable to sit like this and sit up straight. I'm slouching back in my chair. I am definitely enjoying having a fabric chair rather than a fake leather one. Not just because it gives me the option to sit on it naked. It just, the only thing is it smells like a DFS in here. I'm hoping the new furniture fabric smell will go soon. That's upsetting. It's soft on my bum. Well, my bum hasn't been in contact with the new chair yet because I've still got my egg cushion. So I'm still sitting on that while I'm still suffering. The artificial new car smell they spray into cars. It does smell a bit like that, yeah. That smell makes me feel sick. New car smell is horrible. When I got my new car last year, it was the closest I've ever come to wanting to start smoking again. Just so I could sit in it and have a cigarette to take the new car smell away. I just can't stand the smell. It upsets me. I understand all emotes except this one. That is a cucumber. Anyone who was here in the old days, in the garage days, will know why we have a cucumber emote. It's a good test of how long people have been around for. You missed out if you didn't get to see Kev's cucumber. It was a massive cucumber. It's the biggest cucumber you've ever seen. I got piles. I wish I had piles. Piles would be luxury. Oh, we've got to start winning again. When did I stop smoking? Years ago. Don't even remember. I've never been one of these people who, like, makes a big deal of that kind of thing or counts the days or remembers the date. I don't remember the last time I drank alcohol. I don't remember the last time I had a cigarette. It was a long time ago for both. I've drunk alcohol more recently than I've had a cigarette, but neither of them within, I don't know, years. 4 or 5 years probably for drinking. Longer than that for smoking. Louis Warren's not a regular here because he's dross. Glad we had that chat. Did I stop cold turkey? Yeah, just decided didn't want to do it anymore. What happened to Theodros? He's still here. He's still in and around the first team. This is the guy who can't remember when he last brushed his hair. You won't remember alcohol or cigarettes. I mean, I know it would have been when I had longer hair when I was a teenager. So I started cutting my hair like, or I didn't start, I started having my hair cut like this when I was like 15. So the last time I brushed my hair was immediately before that, when I had a center parting undercut down to my jaw because it was the mid-90s and that was cool. So it's about 25 years since I've brushed my hair. How old am I now? Nearly 30. Can you imagine? Nearly 30. I'm a sexual Tyrannosaurus. I've been told that before. Went throughout high school with a centre parted undercut curtains. Yeah, absolutely. That was cool. And then one day, almost like it happened like that. It just stopped being cool. So I went to the barbers and I think I did what most people did. And first stage was I shaved it all off. So I had a number 1 all over. Looked like an absolute pillock with a shaved head. I have an irregular head. Like when you get a regular misshapen biscuits from the pound shop. My head is the skull version of misshapen irregular biscuit. So yeah, I don't shave my head. So after shaving my head, it grew back to this sort of length, and I was like, well, this looks all right. And I can describe this to the barber. Shaved at the back and sides, short and messy on top, please. And that's been what I've asked for the last 25 years. Well, 23 years, because that's 2 years I've been doing it myself. When I was at primary school, I had a flat top for a couple of years. That was a great haircut. My mum used to have to blow dry my hair every morning. Me and my brother both had a flat top, and they were my mum's idea. I don't know what she was thinking. She'd just sit there blow drying our hair and applying hairspray every morning before sending us off to primary school with a flat top. I don't think there are any pictures. What's been my favourite hairstyle? Well, this one, because this is the one I've had for... Once I settled on this, I've just never changed it. It varies slightly, like how short it's shaved changes. How long I leave it between cuts changes. That varies how long it gets in between. When I did the Christmas video this year and looked back through some of the other Christmas videos, there was one year where I had a lot of hair. It was like big and brushed back and... Well, not brushed back, so obviously I don't brush it. I fingered my hair back into a vampire hairstyle. But now I cut it myself. I don't have to leave it months between cuts. So it pretty much stays like this. I did the Freddie Lundberg with the red mohawk when I was 14. I would love to be brave enough to dye my hair. I've only done it once. When I was a teenager, I tried to bleach my hair. That is an important goal. Because Ebbsfleet are one of the teams we're chasing. And now Chris has got to find a way to edit this without the talk about me bleaching my hair. Just to make it harder, I'm talking about bleaching my hair again now. Edit this, Chris. You think you're so smart? Make this look good for YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I bleached my hair and it went ginger. And because it was my girlfriend at the time who bleached it, it wasn't even bleached properly. So I had this little line, the hairline all the way around was still brown. So I had this little line of brown all the way around. And then from like 1/4 of an inch out, it was ginger. Oh, we scored again. I'm still talking about bleaching my hair, Chris. This video is a joke and it's on you. Make it look good. Oh, hold on. The replay. Bleachy hair. Yeah. I dare you. Make it a good video. Oh, he's got to earn his money. Feel like this game won't be shown. He can't leave out such an important match. He'd be a monster. Yeah, I'd love to be able to have weird hair colours. I'd love to just turn up on a stream one day with blue hair or red hair. Be awesome. Why isn't James Reeve playing? Because he's not very good. Why do these people keep coming to me and asking me why their players aren't playing? I mean, it should be obvious. Right, we're back up to 3rd place. Hopefully the board are happy again. How are they still disappointed? Team's good form should see them move up the table. Yeah, it should. I mean, we are 13 points off Port Vale now. We're catching up with Ebbsfleet, but Port Vale are relentless. We need the Port Vale bottle job, the annual Port Vale bottle job. Because they've been doing, they're as bad as we are for the bottle jobs. I mean, they've been banging on this door for 5 years. I think that's the same amount of time we have, to be fair. So this is their 5th year trying to get promoted out of this league. Oh God, they're probably our biggest rivals at this point. How far is Port Vale are in Stoke, aren't they? How far is Stoke from Leamington? I feel like they're vaguely in the same sort of place. They're over that side of the country. I have to turn right at the end of the road to get to either of those places. You did dye your hair before, but that was then it all for a week. It wasn't really dye though, was it? I got that. It was basically blue gel that I put on my hair that was supposed to wash out. And I think it was a coincidence that I was ill for a week. I don't think I got head poisoning from using dodgy Amazon blue gel. That's still in our bathroom. 83 miles. That's close enough to be a derby. In America, that's the next house along. Port Vale are our new local rivals. I mean, really, at some point, they should be emerging on here as competitive rivals. I haven't had a competitive rival appear in FM for years. I think it was the first home save. We got Arsenal and Manchester United, I think. Both appeared as competitive rivals because we've been competing at the top of the Premier League with them for so long. And they did appear. But you'd think after 5 years of battling with Port Vale constantly, that would start to emerge as a competitive rivalry. Because I think in-game, McDonald's have got Posh as rivals. And that was based on us having 5 years. Yeah, there you go. Competitive rivalry. We've not been in the same division for ages. But we had that spell of like probably no more than 3 or 4 years where we were both trying to get out of League One at the same time. And that's still showing on there as a competitive rivalry now. YouTube's been teaching me about American housing lately. How they live without corner shops, I don't know. They just drive to the supermarket, don't they? They drive. Americans don't walk. That's one thing I've learned from the internet. Apparently Americans don't walk anywhere. Unless you're in New York and then you walk everywhere. If you live anywhere else in America, you don't walk anywhere. Whereas in the UK, it's completely normal. Like, I've run out of milk today. So for me to have my shredded wheat in the morning, I need to go and get some more milk. So I'll walk down to the shop and get some milk because it's a 5-minute walk. Whereas in America, they would drive to the shop. That's what I've learned. Yeah, Chester were a competitive rival as well. Yeah, Chester for home were a competitive rival. Maybe it's something that can only happen to creator clubs. Maybe it's like the whole real players can't do all sorts. So real players don't come out as gay. Real players don't miss training. Real players don't stumble out of nightclubs at 3 a.m. Maybe it's a similar thing. Maybe real clubs can't change their rivalries because home were a creator club. They were able to have dynamic rivalry. I don't actually know the mechanic behind it. Real clubs do develop rivalries. Well, there you go. That told me. You have to drive everywhere. It's like a 30-mile trip to my high school every day. There you go. That's what I mean. So 82 miles between Coventry. I mean, in fact, do it from Coventry to Port Vale because we've been in Coventry for most of the save. We're not in Leamington anymore, so Coventry's going to be a little bit nearer to Stoke than Leamington is. Probably only by like 5 miles. I don't know how far away Leamington is from Coventry. But in my mind, you've got Leamington like here. Coventry's like here, and Port Vale or Stoke would be up here. I've had Wrexham in the Premier League develop a rivalry with Chelsea. Nice. How long did it take? Oh, that's a pass. What a goal. What a goal. That was such a good goal. I'm not even going to talk about bleaching my hair so Chris can leave it in. That's a beauty. An absolute beauty. Look at it. What a pass. We did do a football. That's the definition of doing a football. And this is our local rivalry, I think. Is Kidderminster local to us? They're certainly on our rivals list, I think. Right, let's keep this going. I didn't bleach anything else. No, I didn't, I'm afraid. Oh, look, we're playing football again. Oh, we're starting to get this diamond rolling. What a difference playing the playmaker a little bit further forward makes. Make note of this, future Kev. You need to be doing this with Norwich. We need the playmaker in behind the strikers. It just makes it so delicious. Oh. City just announced Alvarez, did they? So he's not going to Norwich then. Coventry to Port Vale is 67.4 miles. Leamington to Port Vale is 83.3. Oh, so Coventry's much nearer. See, a 67-mile rivalry. That's fine. Who do I think scored the better screamer for me last night? Dallas or Kouyaté? I still can't say his name. His goal was probably the most important goal of the entire tournament. So I've got to say his, and it was a thunderous effort. Ooh, it's not ideal. Even though I live in California, it's a small beach community with a corner store 250 feet out the back gate. See, that's like living in England then. Apart from the whole beach California thing. That's probably a little different to living in the Midlands. Has Dallas made it onto future Showdown draft list? Yeah, I think so. I mean, he was on it, I think. If we find the draft list, I'm sure Dallas was on there. He would have been on there as a fullback, I think. Maybe. Should we just do Dallas? Find all. We couldn't. Oh, so maybe he wasn't on there. Yeah, he needs to go on. Will I release any Streamer Showdown champ merch with thumbnails and maybe a gilet? No. I'd like to think one day there'll be official Streamer Showdown merch, and I don't want to tread on the toes of the Showdown. Don't bite the hand that feeds, boys and girls. Dallas and Castagna are perfect draft picks because they have so much versatility. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know that Dallas moves above Castagna. I still love Castagna. But Dallas has the added flexibility of being able to play central midfield as well, which makes him even more useful. But Castagna is excellent as a right back bombing on. Oh, everyone's injured. Why are they all getting injured all the time? That'll do. I would love to get... I don't know how realistic it is because I don't know how much market there would be. I would love for my Streamer Showdown kit to be available one day. That would be wonderful. Does this Showdown win feel any different for not having drafted my own squad? Not really. It's just always fun. Just installed FM for the first time in 15 years. Can I get my staff to do training friendlies, presses without damaging my job security? Yes, you can. My staff do all of that stuff for me in this save. The proviso would be if things start going wrong, then it might be trickier. You might get, the board might ask you to start doing some of that stuff as part of an ultimatum, but that's rare. I know when the lowdown raided over to Spencer on Saturday night, I don't know if he got it resolved. I was tired and went to bed, but he was having an issue in his save where the board wanted him to do press conferences. He was, but they were on the verge of sacking him for not doing them. So although he was doing them, there was some kind of bug that was stopping it realize he was doing them. Oh, that is blatant. Send him off, referee. That is the most blatant professional foul I've ever seen in Football Manager. And now to add a third. That's a free kick. That right there is a free kick. My M555, thank you for the sub. You can tell Kidderminster are up for the local derby. They're all going to get sent off. How many opposition red cards in the stream? Plenty. Shows how good we are. Shoot! Or just continue to knock the ball around beautifully until someone gets a tap in. I'm comfortable with either. Get the state of their formation. Stop getting players sent off, you wallies. Come on, let's have another one. Really rub salt into the wound. Oh, it's a lovely pass again. Conte, I think he's on a hat-trick. Can't apply the finish, though. Conte's really developing as a striker this season. He was like a backup central midfielder for us last year, and this year we're playing him up front, and he's becoming the player we hoped Theodros would be. That's a nice finish as well. Do I watch Scottish football? I don't. To be fair, I don't watch a lot of English football. But no, I don't watch Scottish football. It's too exotic for me. That will do. A 4-1 win in a Rivals game. I want to have a little look at Conte. He's going to be our next big money sale, isn't he? We probably need to get him tied down to a new contract. He's out of contract at the end of the season, but is starting to rattle in the goals now he's playing up front. He says that's his first goal in like 8 matches. Still think he should probably get a new contract. Although I don't think we've got any wage budget to offer one. Boy, he wants £1,000 a week. £1,000 a week? Are you all right? Knock that down a little bit. Come on, let's be sensible. We're having financial woes. There we go. That's him tied down to a new deal. Who else have we got who's a potential big money transfer at some point? Kiezu, I'd be surprised. And plus, he's got 2 years left on his deal anyway. Gilks has 2 years left. Conte was the one, really. Wooster, I'm less worried about at the moment. Yeah, I think Conte's the one who needed tying down. Oh, Posh have lost their Ducky. Ducky's been sacked. Not Ducky. Oh, it's terribly sad. Shall I make the move now? Simon Davies is in temporary charge. Normally, Matthew Everington gets that job. He walked out as well. Matthew Everington's normally your standard caretaker manager at Peterborough. Where does staff live on here? No, Everington's still there. So you've got Davies as manager. See, in real life, Everington's now assistant manager. that would have been perfect, having Davies and Everington as manager and assistant manager. The boys who came through the youth team together, went to Spurs together all those years ago. I mean, that shows how old I am. I barely started having my hair cut like this. That was around when I was bleaching my hair. When these two came through at Posh. Then Everington. Same time. Beautiful. What a pair of heroes. Now they're running the club together. I mean, did Posh get relegated? Oh, God. So this shows just how much of a special Football Manager talent I am. Because on Earth 1, not only did I keep Peterborough in the Championship, I, of course, got them into the Premier League the next season. Here on Earth 2, Posh not only got relegated to League 1, they're in very real danger of being relegated down into League 2. Unless they get the right manager. I mean, I'd be a shoo-in for that job if I applied for it. Unless he gets it. He's not going to get it. This is the place I can watch the 7-time winner of the stream of Showdown. It is that very same place, yes. It's at least a small difference in graphics and match engine quality if I upgrade from 1080p to 60 frames per second. My monitor is currently limiting me to that. Does FM allow for more than 60 hertz and 1440 or 4K? This is 4K. I don't think it goes beyond 60 hertz. And I don't know what difference you notice in a largely static text-based game. But yeah, this is 4K. What you'll find going to a larger resolution is you'll have to zoom a little more. So we've got our zoom on 125%. If you have it on actual 4K resolution, it looks like this. Hold on. We'll change it back immediately. Just to show you what it looks like in 4K without zooming. Watch, I'm breaking it, aren't I? It's actually going to break. Is it that hard to compute, Football Manager? Oh, God. Imagine if I've broken the save doing this. We've got to change it back in a minute. Because it's unplayable in 4K. You'd need a magnifying glass. It is no, God, stop, cancel. Ah! What is going on? Why is this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. There you go. That's it in 4K. I mean, you can fit an extra thing on there. Look, that's quite cool. I actually quite like that. But it's a bit... Can't see it. That is cool, though. I like that being there. And I'm on a 28-inch monitor as well. It's, oh, look how tiny everything is. There's so much wide open space. Ah. So yeah, we'll put that back to where it was, which was 125. It'll probably take another 20 minutes to switch back. Looks like when students are told they're allowed one A4 sheet of notes in an exam. Yes, definitely. Unbelievably, you can actually go to a smaller text size than that. People must be playing on a projector on the side of their house or something. But to me, 4K zoomed into 125% looks pretty much spot on. Right. How are we doing? We are still 13 points behind Port Vale. When do we play them? Have we already played them? We've already lost to them. That's a problem. We do play them again there, but away from home. Port Vale need to get Bottley because the board are still disappointed. It does go above 60 hertz, currently getting 143, 144. Well, there you go. Do, 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 do. afternoon, Mr. Seven Times. Afternoon to you too. Hopefully we're all having a delightful time. Right, we need another win here. Just keep winning. We'll keep winning and worry about everything else at a later date. Oh, hello. We've got players on international duty. We are down to the bare bones. Kevin Cairns is having to start at left back because Gilks is on international duty and Kiezu's injured. I don't remember the last time I saw Kevin Cairns. Just call me G7. Thank you for the 2 months. It's pouring with rain as well. It's pouring with rain and we've got our third choice left back in the team. This cannot go wrong. Number 37, Kevin Cairns. Ridiculous squad numbering. What did I do to celebrate number 7? Went to bed, struggled to sleep, got up today, got on with some work. And now I'm streaming. It's been a lovely day. I'm too old to celebrate. Is it actually raining? No, it seems like it's sunny outside. Oh, it's really nice and sunny out there. I wasn't asking you, Siri. Yeah, it's really nice and sunny out there. You wouldn't be able to tell because I've got my blinds shut. Because if I let any natural light in, you can't tell. I don't look like I'm in a dingy gaming basement, and that ruins the aesthetic in here. You can't see any of the pink light in the background. It just looks like I'm an adult in a room with a window. And that is not the look I am going for. I didn't spend all this money on lights and cameras to make it look like I'm just an adult sat in a proper office with a proper window. So I have my blinds up to block out the sun. Traffic report. Everything seems clear out there. No cars, no vans for the first time in ages. No bins out. All looks good. It's sunny but freezing. It was really windy overnight. Captain Cartwheel. Yeah, that is Captain Cartwheel in goal. Oliver Wright. Good old Captain Cartwheel. I'd be annoyed if the bins were out. It's not Wednesday. The local binfluencer will have theirs out by this time tomorrow, I imagine. Just to let us all know what we're supposed to put out. I have no idea what bin it is this week. I never know. Oh, that's a good save from Wooster. Showing Captain Cartwheel how it's done. The ambulance guy's just out of his ambulance watching the football. What a cheek. Get back in your ambulance and do some ambulance things. You're not here to watch the football. At least face the other way. The cheek of it. Oh, they're doing these really deep crosses which keep troubling us. I think they're targeting Cairns, which is a problem. Oh. Standard National League, some relegated teams just winning every game, so you can't go up automatically. Thing is, both Port Vale and Ebbsfleet have been exactly like us and trying to get promoted for several years. Shrewsbury are the relegated team. Us, Port Vale and Ebbsfleet, are in this top 4 every year. Which is why it's even more frustrating, because it's obviously an opportunity this year that we're bottling. Or it's not even the fact we are still bottling it. We bottled the start of the season. We're going to play Warren at right back because it's glorious. We had a poor start and we've just not been able to catch up because Port Vale have been relentless. But they've been banging on this door for as long as we have. Come on. Right, here we go. This feels like a goal moment. Cairns at left back, justifying his selection. I chose you, Kevin. It's nothing to do with circumstances. You'd have been playing today anyway. Right, come on. Here we go. Here's the goal. No. Just no. Can we not let them score, though? Can we not let them score, though? I was so clear. Oh, I was so clear. Is this a win the playoffs or get fired situation? More a win the league or get fired situation. That's what the board have told me. There's a scenario where I qualify for the playoffs and get sacked before I even get to Wembley, potentially. They might sack me the moment Port Vale win the league. Which would be heartbreaking. Because, once again, it does feel like we've got a good team together. That would do fine in League Two. George Ratcliffe wants to start more games. Well, I don't care what he wants. He's no Wooster, is he? I want Frenchie back. We don't all get what we want when it comes to goalkeepers. George Ratcliffe. You are the backup goalkeeper. I can do that. Sounds fair enough to me. You're a coward, George. You came to me looking for a fight, and I've countered it, and you've just accepted it. It's like you don't even want to play for me. Show some backbone. Is that the end of the save if I'm fired? Probably. Unless a really interesting job presents itself at the same time, we'd probably start something new if I get fired. But I would quite like to win the Champions League with Leamington. Where did it all go wrong? Well, that's the frustrating thing. It hasn't ever gone wrong. I think in reality, Leamington would be over the moon with that. It's better than they've ever been in their history. We're consistently in the playoffs every year. We've been to Wembley multiple times in the last few years. We've just not had the luck go our way. But I don't think you can look at those last 3 years or even the last 5 years and say there's something going wrong. But the board have gone professional, and part of that is they're expecting us to be a Football League team to fund it. So I guess gotta get promoted or they'll sack me. Yes, the National League is tougher than the Showdown. Yeah, because remember, most of the times we've been trying to go up, we've been doing it as the only part-time team in the top 20 in the league. Now we're full-time, but our salary budget is so low compared to everyone else's. I still think we go up this year. I just hope the board don't sack me. Oh, imagine we go up through the playoffs and I get sacked anyway. Stupider things than that have happened in Football Manager in the past. You can be sure I'd be writing a sternly worded letter. Yeah, and it doesn't help that the last 2 seasons in a row, the AI's had teams that have got over 100 points in this league. So even though that year we got 92 points, up until that point, that would have been enough points to win automatic promotion every year previously. But it just so happened we got 92 points as the AI got like 110. And then last year, the AI was over 100 points as well with Notts County. So we just need to hope that Port Vale... I mean, the thing we can really hope for here is Port Vale's manager gets headhunted and they collapse. Or we just go through the playoffs. Do I see Ben's tweet? He's rattled. What tweet's he done now? Is this another tweet? Or is this the one from earlier asking me not to talk about the showdown anymore? Oh, that's not what I was trying to see. I didn't find Twitter. I know I've got Twitter open somewhere. There it is. Bring that back over here. What's he done now? Dr. Ben. What tweet am I looking for? I mean, there's some big words on there. Oh, he scored a goal while I was trying to find a tweet from Ben. Right. I'm not seeing anything that suggests rattledness. I'm disappointed. I feel like I've been misled. But apparently I should pay less attention to the games. While I've been doing that, we've scored 2 goals. Listen to the Zealand podcast with you today. Very cool episode. Why, thank you. See, Zealand's so big time that he hasn't even tagged me into that for a retweet. I have a thing where when I'm on a podcast, I like to be the most viewed or most listened to episode they've ever done. I want a nice little run with it at the moment. So I retweet the backside out of it to make sure that I'm always their most popular guest ever. Zealand doesn't even need me to do that. I've got plenty of downloads without even promoting the fact you're on, Kev. He's not even tagged me in it on Twitter. We did that last week on the afternoon of the draft, I think. I think it was before the draft. It must have been before the draft because we didn't talk about the twist and complain about it. Right. Shuffly, McShuffle. That's what they call me. I'll do. Jeff Kane equals the best Kane. Absolutely. Jeff Kane's a hero. Ah, my microphone's got tangled up in my water bottle. On draft day, that's what we said on the pod. Well, there we go. Why is my mouse shortcut button not working? Right, I need to load up Logitech software. Why is my spacebar shortcut button on my mouse not working? I don't want to do an update. Skip. Is it working now? Yes. Yes, it's working now. You just needed the software open, man. First time joining a stream of yours. Just wanted to say long live the king. Thank you very much. I assume I'm the king you're referencing. And you're not just like weirdly doing royalist propaganda in my chat. In that which case, I'm fully in support. Long live the king. Didn't get to see the showdown yesterday, but I had to rub my eyes when I saw the tweet that you won again. Don't know what that is, but it's what we do. Oh, Kevin Cairns, what a man. I certainly always win the first one every year. There's been 3 first showdowns of the year, and I have won all 3 of them. I like to put my marker down for the new game early. And I also always lose the last one because it's the last day of term and I bring my Game Boy in. The ones in between, they could go either way. I'll win some, I'll not play in some, and then occasionally I'll let someone else have a go to make it look like I'm vulnerable. Not expecting to give away secrets. How do I prep for a showdown? I mean, I can give away all the secrets. I've done it enough times. Because all I do, prep-wise, is a spreadsheet like this where I plan my draft. So I go through, I have a system in mind. So for this one, the system I had in mind was I wanted to be able to play 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3 and a diamond. So I wanted a squad of players that would be able to move between those 3 systems. So I picked the player roles that I wanted. I ended up with 14 player roles that I wanted in my 18-man squad. Planned how the structure of that squad would look. So exactly what blend of players I wanted. And then based on the roles and the mentalities that I wanted, went onto the forbidden player search screen and filtered for the players that most closely matched the attributes for those roles. Then, so like Edison hits the attributes better than anyone else, then Allison does, and then Dubravka and Adrian in the next one down, and so on. So the gap indicates I had to knock one down on the attribute list on the player search thing. Then when I've done that, I go back through again and find out their current ability and put it on the list. And then based on the combination of how hard they hit the attributes and what their current ability is, I then put a top 10 together for each position of the players that I would want. And then draft accordingly. And that's all the prep I do. From there, in the showdown, it's just about following through on that plan that I had. So working out which one of those systems works best with the players that I've got. So we trial on the Saturday, we trial all 3 tactics and all 18 players, so that by the time Sunday comes around, I know what my best tactic and my best 11 is. That's why we're never going to win the league, because I'm not trying to win the league. I'm trying to learn about my squad and my systems to find out what we do best. And then on the Sunday, we just use the best tactic from the day before with the best players from the day before and ride our luck a bit. Sunday's all about the mind games. If I had to play the Sunday games on mute, I'd be much less successful at them. But yeah, that's what we do. What's the entry criteria for creators? There's not a numerical entry criteria. It's more a case of, does Ben think you'd be a good fit with the rest of the team? So you need, like, rather than a minimum number of subscribers, you need like a minimum level of quality to your stream. So like, you need to be confident on camera. You need to be good at what you do. You need to have good microphone, good camera. You need to have the kind of personality that he believes you'd be able to cope with the rest of us and cope with the chat. Camera is out of focus. What's going on there? Focus on me. Let's get the microphone out of the way. Okay. Sometimes it decides to pick up the autofocus on my microphone rather than my face, which is annoying. But there you go. I think we're back. Is it the FA Cup? It's only the FA Cup, boys and girls. We're playing against Halifax. Why has it got out of focus again? What is going on? What is it focusing on? What's pinned me? Is it focusing on Pac-Man? Do I need to just remove his eyes? It's looking for eyes. It's not focusing on Stone Cold. Is it Stone Cold that it's focusing on? We might have to move Stone Cold. He's not usually a problem. Perhaps Stone Cold looks like more of a man than I do today. And I will not have it said that Stone Cold Steve Austin is more of a man than I am. Do I consider hidden attributes? No. Literally just current ability and how well they play the role that I want them to play. And then, I mean, if like you've got people who are still roughly equal from there, previous experience of using those players, firstly in showdowns, and then going into regular saves. Like, people were surprised when Jack Grealish was my first pick, but Jack Grealish has been in probably 3 of my showdown winning squads. Jack Grealish is a fantastic showdown player, and he fits in all 3 of those systems. He can play centre mid, he can play out wide, he can play attacking midfielder. Flexibility of cross positions is important. So Grealish is always going to be like top 5 pick for me. Stone Cold doesn't have 7 showdown wins. Exactly. How many WWE titles did Stone Cold win? I got more titles than him now. We don't count like his $1 million belt or his WCW TV title. I want to know WWF championships. How many did he win? I think it's worth looking at injury proneness. Nah. I mean, if you want to get... It depends how much time you want to spend faffing about. I mean, you could start looking into, well, I want players over 6'3" with good jumping reach and low injury proneness, and I want them to have a high work rate, and blah, 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 blah. You could go really nerdy with it, and I think you're in danger of going a little bit too... You've got to balance the science with the gut feel a little bit. Yeah, if you go too far into it, you become Zealand. And then I think it's crucial, and people won't believe me no matter how many times I say it, but it is crucial that when you actually get into the game, stop changing your tactic constantly. Every time you change, like you have... Anna said, who are you talking to? I dreamt we had a bunch of lions. Anna, I'm streaming, and no, we don't have a bunch of lions. Well, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, you have 3 tactics that you can load in before the showdown starts, and they give you maximum tactical familiarity. If you've been gifted maximum tactical familiarity, even if you feel like there's a slightly better tactic you could be doing that you figure out in the quarterfinal, don't do it, because it doesn't matter if it's slightly better than the one you plan to use in advance. Not having the tactical familiarity on it completely voids that. Tactical familiarity is crucial. So I don't vary from the 3 tactics I planned to use before we started. And also, every time you do a tweak in game, and I don't know if this is proven or if this is just a Chapman theory, but it works. Every time you tweak the tactic in game, it feels like you do get a bit of a penalty for the tweak. So the tweak, you have to be damn sure that whatever tweak you're doing is going to improve the team by more than the penalty you get for tweaking. So if you're making 8 tactical tweaks in a match, you are costing yourself. So there's no way the team has got better every single time. Oh, I'm just going to move my left back forward and put them on a inverted wing back instruction on defend. Because when they were on the other one, I mean, who cares? Don't do that. You're making it harder for yourself. Just decide what you're going to do. It infuriates them when I say this. But if you're having to make 8 tweaks in the game, you just got it wrong at the start. Don't get it wrong at the start. Simple. Let's get it right to begin with, idiots. If every tweak takes the team time to adjust, so constant tweaking means the team has to constantly keep trying to adapt. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're out of the FA Cup then, boys and girls. That's a shame. Boo-hoo. Are we getting judged on this as well? Is this another thing to upset the board with? But yeah, yes, last night, before the second leg of the final, when you lot, as soon as you lot told me Curty was loading in a new tactic, I knew I'd won. Because, I mean, that's not the time to load in a new tactic. I don't know if Mike's still here. The advice I gave Mike before our second leg, I genuinely believe was the right advice. Although I beat him 5-1 in the first leg, he was the better team according to the match stats. If I'd have been Mike in that situation, I'd have done exactly the same thing for the second leg. But because he lost 5-1, he changed it all and lost again. He loaded in a new tactic and also created a second new backup tactic from scratch. Yeah, at that point, that was when I won. Oh, dear me. It's fine. How far over the budget are we? Oh, God, I'm going to get fired. I am going to get fired. He did start with his original tactic, did he? Okay. Mike thought that was mind games. Oh, I know he did. There's a reason I talk constantly when I'm in the showdown. And the thing is, when I'm talking constantly in the showdown, 80% of the time I'm telling the truth. But it's the 20% of the time that I'm outright lying, makes them question everything I'm saying, and they don't know what, they don't know when I'm telling the truth. And you'll notice all I'm doing is talking about their team and their tactics. I never talk about my team and my tactics. It's constant discussion of what they're doing and whether they should be trying something different. Constantly planting it all in their head, making them second guess what they were already planning on doing. That's why it was harder against Curty than against the other two, because Curty's harder to mind game. That's why Ben, there you go. Ben's arrived. Ben's my hardest opponent because he does it back to me better than I do it to everybody else. When I beat Ben, it's basically a coin flip. When I beat everybody else, I'm just messing with them and ruining them. Do I use the same tactic right now as during the showdown? Only because at the start of the stream, I switched it to the showdown tactic because it was so good. We weren't originally. I mean, it was similar. It is now exactly the same as the showdown one, I think. Anyone who's been watching my stuff for a long time will know I've always... ever since Miles told me to only use one playmaker, I've only ever used one playmaker, and I love the playmaker here. So pretty much every tactic I've ever had with a DM has always had the DM as a deep line playmaker. But last night, we switched to having the DM be a defensive midfielder and having the playmaker here because it suited the players better. And it worked beautifully. So I've now brought that into this one as well. And it's been working pretty well in this. Anna, why are you phoning me? Anna, I'm streaming! Hold on. So what's the problem?
I just went to the bedroom and you are a pain because I don't know what you've done, but you've knocked my washing all over the floor and knocked it up.
That doesn't sound like something I'd do. You sure it's not been a cat get in there or something?
Now, explain yourself, Kevin.
I don't remember it happening. There might have been an earthquake or something. Where was your washing?
On the chair.
What chair?
On the chair that's in our bedroom.
Oh, your chair. No, I've not been near the chair.
You're a liar.
I don't think it was me. Anyone could have done that.
Was there anyone that comes in here except me? No, I didn't do it.
The chat have made a very good point. What about Dave? Dave could have done it. He's not in here.
Dave doesn't come in this red room. You made sure of that.
Yeah, but I've been in my office all morning, and you have already revealed you've been snoozing in the living room. So Dave's had free range of the house.
Multiple times today.
Someone else just said it was one of the lions. Yeah, one of the lions has got in there.
He had 9 lions.
9 lions?
Yeah, in my mum's old house in her bedroom.
How'd you fit 9 lions in one bedroom?
I don't know, Kevin. I had 9 of them, and I was feeding them.
What were you feeding the lions?
So there was this, like a 2-litre bottle.
Of what?
We had made that into a scoop, and we would fill that half up, fill it with water, and then just hold it so the lions could eat out of it.
Just realised all this time I've been holding the bit I talk into to the microphone rather than the bit you come out of. I don't know how phones work. Anna, you'll be devastated to know Samuel Muller's broken his arm.
Oh,
that means 3 months without a Muller corner.
But he's playing football. How do you break your arm?
He was injured in an accidental collision in training.
Who breaks?
Samuel Muller. What should we do? Should we sign a replacement?
Just give him a paycheck and slap a band-aid on him.
Give him a paycheck? Hold on.
He doesn't use his arms.
He's earning £375 a week. He's got 3 months of doing nothing now.
No, because he doesn't use his arms for football.
What, so he needs to play with a broken arm?
Yeah.
I mean, that was an option, but I've clicked to send him to a specialist instead. I think he's going for surgery. I should have asked you before I started pressing the buttons, because I bet that's cost me more as well. Although it does say letting him see the specialist is best for his long-term health.
He didn't need him till he's about 29. I need to phone to the killer.
Did you all hear that? That's confirmation of my management philosophy. You only play until you're about 29. This is where I get it from. As soon as you're over 29, you're done. This lot are forever telling me I should be playing 30-year-olds.
Why are you old?
Exactly, they're old. Older than me, that's for sure.
I couldn't run around for 90 minutes. Jeez.
You couldn't run around for 90 minutes when you were 29, though. That's no comparison. Right, I'm going to get on with my stream now.
You do that then.
Have fun with your lions.
Bye-bye.
Bye. How odd. How very odd. I don't remember what we were talking about now. We've lost our Muller corners. This is no good at all. I feel like we might have to go and get another midfielder. Because we are a little light now. Redfern's going to have to play centre mid more often, isn't he? Now we don't use wingers. What time's the Norwich video up? 4 o'clock. So we'll yeah. So we'll stream. Here we go. I'm trying again. We'll stream until just before 4 o'clock. Now, be honest, did I knock the clothes over? I genuinely don't think I did. It has been, I mean, this is such a cop-out excuse, but I did mention earlier, it's been really windy today and the bedroom window is open. So it is conceivable that there was a strong gust of wind that blew through the bedroom window and knocked a basket of clothes off of Anna's chair onto the floor. Maybe. I don't think I did it. I don't remember doing it. Probably what's happened is I've left the room, slammed the door, and it's fallen off or something dumb. That's a good goal. You're blaming the wind. You did it. I don't think I did it. It's a windy day, though. What do you think about changing player roles mid-game? I try to avoid doing it as much as possible. Like I say, every time you make a mid-game tweak, you got to weigh up. Players are dropping like flies. You've got to weigh up. I think you kind of got to assume that you're going to get a penalty for making the change. It takes some time to adapt to it. Every change has a penalty attached to it. So is the change you're making enough to overcome the penalty that making the change makes? So, for example, if I go on here and I'm like, I think Goodrum might be slightly more effective if I have him as an advanced playmaker on an attack instruction. Do you genuinely think that's such a significant change that it will overcome any penalty that you might get for making the change in the first place? No, you don't. Whereas if you decide you want to play him as a shadow striker, which is a completely different role, because you think that's what you need, then yeah, do it. Might work, it might not. I don't do stuff like that very often at all. How does Zealand ever win a game? He reloads, doesn't it? What? Zealand's good at transfers. You can disregard all of this if your squad's much better than all of the other squads. Right, come on. We need to win a football match. Shrewsbury are getting back into this now, and that's a problem. Because they're the ones that were relegated from League Two last season. They were the ones who were supposed to be the big threat. We're now 16 points behind Port Vale. I actually might get sacked today. I can't get sacked less than 24 hours after winning the showdown. It'd be a nightmare. How do I rate Posh's chances of staying up? Looking pretty unlikely now. I'd been pretty confident up until the last couple of weeks, but it's pretty clear that our transfers have been all about building a team to come back up again next year and not overcommitting. Lots of loans coming in, not overcommitting to championship wages. I think we've kind of resigned ourselves to the fact that we're going down. We're going attacking, so we've got to try and we've got to get some points. I will hydrate. I'm very upset. Happy with the signing of Fuchs. He looked good on Saturday from what I saw of it. Obviously, I didn't see much of the second half because the showdown had started. He looked decent. The only problem is, even he doesn't come in and improve the team because the guy who was playing there looks like he's on his way out the door, Ollie Norburn. So we could do with them both in there, really, and that might improve the team. As it is, we're losing one good, hard-working central midfielder and replacing him with another one. Well, having one good, hard-working central midfielder in there all season hasn't been enough to keep us out the relegation zone. What am I saying to him? You're getting a rest regardless, Ibrahim. You don't decide when you go on holiday or not. You're getting 2 weeks and you'll like it. Go somewhere nice. Away for Halloween. I'd recommend Disneyland Paris if you're away for Halloween. Lovely at that time of year, apparently. Right. Annoyed that Posh didn't sell Dembele in the summer for more money, so Grimsby could get a bigger sell on. I mean, if we hadn't have had Dembele for the first half of the season, we'd be in much more of a state than we are now. The only reason he's going to go today is because he's decided he doesn't want to play for us anymore. Seems to have properly dug his heels in now. What is happening here? You want to leave? Fine, go then. I can't wait that long. What did I say? I just clicked a button that I thought said you could leave. I don't want to make it reasonable bid. That's what we're looking for. Yep, that's reasonable. Boom. No, we're not getting that kind of money for him, but it'll keep him happy. He did the same to us at Grimsby, to be fair. What a wang. especially when his contract's up at the end of the season. You think he could just... to me, the logic... It's a very short-sighted way of thinking. Because to me, if he played incredibly for the rest of the season and single-handedly kept us in the championship, which I genuinely think him at his best, he was that good. He'd be a difference maker in enough games to give us a real good chance of staying in the division. Him on top form for an entire season. And then he can just set his price wherever he wants to go. Whereas now he's forcing his way out. Presumably going to be earning less money because they've got to pay a fee for him. Right. I mean, if they're spending... It's Bournemouth he's going to, apparently. If they're spending £1 million... They're giving us £1 million to take him now. That's £1 million they haven't got to give him now. Whereas in the summer, he can take that £1 million as a signing on fee. It's odd. Feels very much like there's an agent in his ear trying to get his pound of flesh. Former Brazil legend Roberto Carlos has agreed to turn out for a pub team in Shropshire in a Sunday League match. Nice. What if he gets injured? He won't get that kind of money he's getting now. So, not a great way to live, is it? Worrying about getting injured. I could sit here worrying. What if I have a stroke and can't talk anymore? Not to be able to make YouTube videos. It's not something I sit and worry about every day. It happens. That's a bit of a blow. But it doesn't affect decisions in the short term. Right, we do need another midfielder, so I'll take this guy. Don't even need to scout him, we'll just take him. Chance of that is much less likely than getting injured while playing football. I mean, I'm very overweight and take 5 different blood pressure medications every day. I'm not so sure. I don't know. It just seems a little bit of it's a sour end to what has been a really great spell at the club. It's a shame. And now, because our chairman's so stubborn as well, I mean, the deal's not gone through yet, as far as I can tell. You've got the whole issue of, well, he might stay yet, and then he's had 2 games where he's refused to play. Then what do we do with him? Freeze him out for the rest of the season, even though he's our best player? Find a way to reintegrate him, even though he's made it clear he doesn't want to play for us and he's leaving at the end of the year? It's a tricky one. There you go. Has there been any more big transfers since I've been waffling anyway? I mean, talking of transfers, what's Frank Lampard supposed to do at Everton, by the way? Gets the job on the last day of the transfer window. Is he expected to make transfers? He's got Van der Beek and that's it. Apparently Everton want Dele Alli. Okay. Yeah, he needs 4 nows. 4 nows is the answer. Apparently been given a list of players who've been in talks within the past week or so. Wow. Trade for Siriki Dembele. Dembele for Dembele. What, we get Usmani at Barcelona? That'll work for me. Well, we agreed earlier in the stream, if Aubameyang's going to Barcelona, Dembele can come to Peterborough, and then the other Dembele can go to Arsenal, and we can just do a nice, perfect circle. Part of the interview is, which of these players would you get, and how would you integrate them into the squad? I mean, the second part of that question is a weird one, isn't it? I'd just play them. How would I integrate him into the squad? I'd pick him in the team and then try and win football matches with him. Frank's pull will be great for Everton's long-term project if they stick with him. What pull? What pull has Frank Lampard got as a football manager? Isaac's been spotted around London. Around North London. They can get all of Chelsea's loanees. Well, they're not going to be able to have loads of loanees from next season, are they? There's that new loanee rule. Is it only 7 players are allowed on loan from next season? Of the 30 or so they've got out on loan at the moment? No cap on under 21 loans. Yeah, but is an under 21 Chelsea player any use for Everton? Gallagher next year. Is Gallagher under 21 next year? I thought he was... Is he 21 now? Yeah, and also you're only allowed 2 loans from the same club, aren't you? Or 2 loans from other Premier League clubs. Right. Changes afoot again. As we just desperately try and keep this group of players fit because it's such a small squad. We've played well today. But we're now 16 points behind Port Vale. We're only just gone the halfway point of the season, and we're 16 points behind. Conor Gallagher turns 22 on Sunday. There you go, then. Arsenal's new goalkeeper had a shocking match for the USA yesterday, did he? Did he indeed? Where have these goals been in the recent matches when we've not been winning? We're frustratingly inconsistent. Jovic from Real Madrid on loans coming in for Everton apparently. With Carlo having spoken to Frank to wish him luck. Nice. Do they need him and Calvert-Lewin? Only coming in to be a backup. He was the hot prospect in Europe a couple of years ago, wasn't he? Now the prospect of going to Everton on loan as a backup player. Oh, dear. Everton need help all over the pitch. Calvert-Lewin got a 12-month injury earlier and we're stuck with Rondon, which was awful. Yeah, I mean... Hashtag Keverton binned Rondon off early. Oh, there's a car on Sky Sports News. Breaking news, Everton in talks to sign Dele Alli. They're live at the Everton training ground. So has Van der Beek already confirmed? Not confirmed yet. Okay. Right, let's do another football match, shall we? I still love the second timer on Sky Sports News. brilliant. So crucial that we know how many seconds are remaining. Not just to the minute. We need to know to the second. Right, why have we got such a long wait? Oh, is it FA Cup day? Okay. We should probably squeeze in a fitness friendly. Actually, we're not. I'm going to make the rare decision to not squeeze in a fitness friendly. For the opposite reason, we actually need some fitness. Our players are all shattered. They could use a 2-week rest. Congrats, Kev. Would you like Kevy 8 and 9 times the votes now or after the next 2 showdowns? Just have them ready. Have them ready to drop into Discord. The moment they're confirmed. Having them in advance seems to be bad luck. But I need them immediately after the wins. Hope you've got a design in mind when you have to start getting a second digit on there. No, I'm not sacked yet. Results have been pretty good today. The only problem is the board want us to go up as champions. And we're not going to. Because we're 16 points behind Port Vale, who are on course to get like 115 points this season. It just seems unfair. The game has decided to put me on Dark Souls level difficulty. Oh yeah, we're going to make it so you have to win the league. And by the way, there's going to be an AI team set a record points total in your division. But you do have to win the league or you're going to get sacked. Thanks, Football Manager. That's really nice of you. I look forward to seeing how this pans out. Hayden Coulson going to Posh, apparently. Without wanting to seem like an ignorant buffoon, who the hell is Hayden Coulson? Should I know who he is? Hayden Coulson. He's a soccer player, apparently, according to Wikipedia. He's 23 years old. Currently at Ipswich on loan from Middlesbrough. What, so we're signing him permanently, presumably, if he's on loan at Ipswich. He's only played 6 times for Ipswich in League One this year on loan. I mean, excuse me if I'm not over-enthused. He's been injured, has he? Okay. Check him out on FM. We're so far in the future, he probably doesn't exist anymore. Oh no, there he is. What, he's a left back? We don't need a left back. Tomlinson's been fine at left back since coming into the team. So in FM, oh look, wow! In FM, that move actually happened. Well, FM predicting the future, it seems. And he was a failure, an absolute flop. Played 9 games, then got loaned out to Colchester, then released on a free transfer for Lincoln. Well, there you go then. I'm really excited now. A lot of times FM's quite good with knowing who teams are scouting in real life. Rascals. Cheeky rascals. Google suggests he'd only be going on loan, on Posh on loan too. How many loans are you allowed? I mean, we've brought in 3 loans already this January. I guess we sent Coventry back, or West Ham took him back. A mutual returning him because he was faulty. So we've got Bender, we've got Mumba, we've got Morton. Are they the only 3 loans we've got at the moment? Or Coventry, thought he'd work out for Peterborough. Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't good enough to get into our midfield this season, I think West Ham probably need to get shot of him in the summer. Let him go on a free. He ain't making it. If we do bring in another loan, it really does. It's another sign that we're just planning to be relegated. Because we're not wanting to commit long-term to championship wages and have to pay them in League One. Which, again, it's another example of us being sensibly run from a financial perspective. It doesn't inspire you with confidence with 4 months of the season still to go, though. He was really good in pre-season for West Ham. It's pre-season, though, isn't it? He never looked close to championship level at any point with Posh. The 50 best players in the world. Let's play Find the Players from Non-League to Legend. Obviously, this is the same universe. So is there anyone who's a new gen who we've signed who's emerged as a superstar? Doesn't seem that way. But this far into the future, I do think there's an issue with new gens on FM this year. The deeper you get into a save, the harder it is to bring in quality players. There's one. But to be, what are we, 9 years in the future? 8 years in the future? And there to be only one new gen on this list. They're big numbers. He's got a lot of big numbers, this boy. I'm 2036 in my save. Tomiyasu still running around at Arsenal. Well, in Non-League to Legend, Lukaku's still Chelsea's striker after 10 years. Oh, my bum's numb. And Arsenal's back five is still the same one from real life. In, what is it, 2030, 2031? Their entire back five is the one from real life now. Actually, that's not true. They don't have Tierney, but they're playing Saka at left back. So it's 5 players who are currently at the club. Arsenal's back 5. They are all pretty young, but you'd expect them to bring in another defender at some point in the next 9 years. Right, let's do a football. Come on now. Let's all do a football. Let's all do a football. La, 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 la. Come on. It works in the showdown. Does it work in this save? Apparently not. Apparently not. Come on, boys. Oh, that's an interesting pass. That actually worked as well. That's a beautiful goal all round. Theodros starts that with the pass and then he's on there to get on the end of the cross. Funny when Curtie joined in the football chant. It wasn't funny, it was worrying. It was worrying. Everton are unsure if the Ali deal can be done before the deadline. That's my reaction to Ali going to Everton. Oh, that's the Showdown's fault. What would be the hold-up? They've still got 7 hours, 39 minutes, 47 seconds, and microseconds of an amount. That's plenty of time. Daniel Levy. I see. Surely he wants rid of him, doesn't he? I mean, the big headline on Sky Sports News for the last 20 minutes has been Everton in talks to sign Dele Alli. Seems like that's the big deal that's being expected. By the way, thanks for winning last night. It's got me a little closer to getting the points needed to rename a player. You're welcome. Of course, there was over 1 million channel points bet on me winning last night, wasn't there? Because you lot are mad. Goodrum's in. Oh. Oh. They've moved on to a sofa indoors now. They're back in the studio. The fire alarm's done. They don't have to stand out in reception anymore. Come on. Football. That's the opposite of football. I don't care for it. Right. I didn't enjoy that. Ali to Everton, here we go by Fabrizio. Then it must be true. Is the diamond the new dominant formation? It's starting to seem that way, doesn't it? We've stumbled into it across 2 different saves and the Showdown now. Without deliberately using it in any of them. We've kind of just ended up with it. Because it's, after flailing through multiple tactics, it's the only one that's working. So maybe the diamond is the thing. What crossing was OP on FM22? Well, that's the speculation that the reason narrow formations are working so well at the moment, he's miles offside. I mean, I'll take it. No, the linesman flags up. They perhaps overcorrected crossing being overpowered. Because crossing was massively overpowered at the start of the game. So maybe they've overcorrected and that's why narrow formations are working so well at the moment. That's what we were speculating earlier. Four, 4-2-3-1 still pretty dominant. I don't know, I've not had a lot of success with the 4-2-3-1 lately. I guess I'm using it with Everton. That's the only save where I'm not using a diamond at the moment. Oh, I've got no strikers. I'll do. I have a theory that the game expects us to change formations much more frequently than most players do in-game and also between games. I am the opposite of your theory. I think most people fiddle far more often than the game would expect you to. Certainly far more often than is beneficial for the game. I swapped from a 4-2-3-1 in FM21 to a 4-3-3 DM in FM22. And was it successful? I refuse to play without wingers, but I noticed that whenever I use wingers, inverted wingers or inside forwards, it seems to struggle to get them working as good as earlier versions. You look at how much the AI changed. You, for example, changed far less. Maybe. Feeling too much. What's the sweet spot then? Or is the AI doing it the optimal way? Or is the AI fiddling too much? How have we thrown this away? So this is where I should have fiddled. Should have had a fiddle. Don't want to see this. Don't care. Yes, but we're gonna go more attacking. And that's the extent of my fiddle. My formation this save is 5-2-1-2 with wide centre backs and wing backs. That sounds mad. So there'd potentially be moments where you've got one defender. This is my kind of tactic. I like it. Make the guy in the middle a libero on attack, and I'm there. You did miss the weather, I'm afraid. Why do we keep dropping points? As an American, I still don't understand football conventions, even though I've played FM for almost a decade. Transfer windows and per week wages are weird to me. Well, transfer window is just a football thing in general. That wasn't a British thing necessarily. The per week wages are weird. Nobody in England talks about their wages per week unless they're talking about football. I think it's a weird hangover from the distant past where everyone used to get paid weekly and that's what you talk about. If you ask someone how much they earn for their normal real life job, firstly, they'll tell you to get lost. But if you actually get an answer out of them, they'll tell you how much they earn a year. It's weird. I don't know why in football we still talk about it weekly. Makes them seem grossly overpaid in the media. Surely it would seem more, I don't know. It's a bigger number if you talk about it yearly, isn't it? If you're talking about someone being on £20 million a year, that's a huge number. Hello.
That phone call.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's now I think.
Tomorrow. Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. The moral of the tale there, boys and girls, is we might not have a stream tomorrow. We'll see. We're trying to get Andy a new dentist. They insist on doing a phone call first, even though he's not going to be here. We've told him he's not going to be here. He's at school, and he won't be able to talk to him on the phone anyway. But it's now a video call, apparently. A week is easy to contextualize, I guess. Yeah, I guess if you're talking about someone earning more a week than most people earn in a year, it seems high. Did she find the culprit of the closed-off check? I mean, it was the wind. It was definitely the wind. Ben's 100% right. Oh, I don't like where this is going. Once the numbers get big enough, I'm reading comprehension. Once the numbers get big enough, the scale just doesn't compute. Yeah, I suppose. It's silly, though. I completely agree. It would make more sense to do it annually. Apart from playing football. Football Manager, it would break my brain pushing it to annual. I don't know how Zealand does it. But then his is all in Monopoly money anyway, isn't it? How far behind are we now? We've dropped back down to 4th. Still 16 points clear. We're still 16 points clear of Port Vale. fact the team is so many points behind where we are expected to finish makes the underachievement even more pronounced. Thanks, guys. Oh, God. At least they're very pleased we're playing high-tempo football. Right. Come on, then. Oh, we need a bigger squad. I need players and money and results. All of those things. This save is a nightmare. It's too hard. Oh, God, we're playing Port Vale. How did I not know that before kickoff? They can't sneak an opponent on me like that. There should be some kind of announcement. We're beating Port Vale. What a time to be alive. I'm a tactical genius. We calculate salary on a monthly basis in Denmark. I only have a rough idea how much I make in a year. Really? That's interesting. What would happen if I get sacked from the Leamington save? I'd delete all evidence of it ever existing, and anytime anyone brought it up, I'd be like, what Leamington save? And then we'd do something else. Hopefully they'll stop being so sassy if we can bring it down to 13 points rather than 16. So, you places where you do it monthly, when you're negotiating a new job, the salary offer would be for a monthly salary, would it? That's interesting. I think in the UK, the only two possibilities it would have on a contract would be an hourly rate or an annual salary. I don't think it would ever state like a weekly or a monthly salary. Then I've never been paid weekly, so I could be wrong. That was over the line. I don't know what weekly contracts look like. Maybe they do talk weekly. Monthly in Sweden, monthly in Portugal. Interesting. But you receive 14 months. You just disregard the calendar over there. How are you getting paid for 14 months?
Just gifted
Even if you go 4 weekly, that's only 13 times a year. You're just getting a magic bonus month somewhere in there. I want to move to Portugal. 12th Winter, thank you for the gifted subs. Monthly in the Netherlands, monthly in Slovenia, monthly in Macedonia. Italy do 13 months, 2 in December. What, so you get paid double every December? What a time to be alive. So you literally do wish it could be Christmas every day. Right. Come on, let's not bottle this, boys and girls. When I worked at Argos, they moved to a 13-month pay. I mean, that just seems really annoying. Oh, talking of really annoying, there's another example of it. Offside, anyone? Unless you like paying all your bills every 4 weeks rather than monthly, that would break my brain. It would break my tiny brain. Knowing that I had to pay my rent and all my bills 12 times a year, but I was getting paid 13 times a year, I wouldn't be able to work it out. We received approximately 2 months extra, one time for vacation money, and most jobs an extra bonus in December. Now I really don't understand. So you get paid an extra month's wages at some point. I don't understand. I don't understand. The Shawnster, thank you for the sub. Can you explain it to me, the Shawnster? I don't understand. Not your sub. Explain how all these different pay periods work. I'm paid 4 weekly, so 13 times a year. Brackets railway. Is that a common thing then? 4 weeks is annoying, but 13 payments a year is nice. 1 month has 2 payments. I always just whack that into my savings. Very wise. Tesco was paid 13 pay periods, works out to every 4 weeks. But that means you're getting paid at like a different time every month as well. So I have all my bills set to come out on the 1st of the month every month because that's just after I get paid. So if it's there, is he? It's not February. He's not. He's getting it after school. And then if he doesn't go to school the next day, it's being taken out again. Exactly. Ah! Why have you brought that beast in here? He's knocking everything over. Yeah, but he runs around when you're in here with him. Just wrecks everything. Guarantee he's the one who knocked the clothes over. He's just knocked my springs over. Yeah, what I was saying is it would really upset me if over the course of the year, payday gradually moved throughout the month. So starts the year on the 1st, but then the next month it's like the 4th. And then by like 8 months later, you're getting paid on the 23rd. That would break everything. I wouldn't be able to cope with it. It would all go wrong. We get paid the last day of the month in Denmark, so we have our money the day before we pay our bills. Well, everyone gets paid on the last day of the month. Really? What an efficient system that would be. This all comes from months and weeks not aligning at all. Should we redesign the calendar? Should we bin off Football Manager for the rest of the stream, redesign the calendar and submit it somewhere? We are in awful form. We've had 1 win in our last 5 matches. Oh, I'm getting sacked. I'm getting sacked. In Portugal, the common situation is to be paid in the 3rd or 4th last day of the month. In Macedonia, it's like from the 1st to the 15th for the next one. I'm so confused. FM22 newbie here, first time tuning into the stream. Then you'll love the FM targeted content. Your videos definitely helped overcome my hurdle into FM22. Excellent. Glad they helped. I get paid on the last Thursday of every month, which I find is a little weird. I mean, at least it's set at the same time. I'd rather that than having it change massively. We drew 1-1 with Port Vale. Very sad. What would I do if I'm sacked? Go to bed, probably. Go to bed. We're playing Shrewsbury in a minute. Shrewsbury will probably be the last game of the stream. We could conceivably get the ultimatum. If we lose that Shrewsbury game, I imagine I'll get called in by the board and given 5 games to turn things around. Which is probably the best thing that could happen, because at that point, they're not going to expect me to win the league. They'll just expect me to get through those next 5 games, I think. I think that's how it works. I get paid every other week in the US. It's pretty common here. So in the US, in US sports, they talk about annual incomes, but everyone gets paid fortnightly or weekly or, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Isn't money confusing? Let's all just go back to a bartering system. I am exchanging you this entertainment this afternoon, but what would I like in return? Like I mentioned earlier, we need milk. So if one of you could bring me a bottle of milk round, I would also. We need something for tea tonight. We haven't really got anything in. I don't expect one of you to provide my entire dinner though. So if between like half a dozen of you, you could all offer me something that can contribute towards a family meal. I need the lights and the heat and stuff staying on. So some of you need to light a fire in the corner of the room and that kind of thing. I've got eggs. I don't need eggs. I'll bring the milk if I can pet Dave. No, he'll savage you. What made the board decide I needed to win the league? We went professional last year and then didn't get promoted. I think they decided we're now losing so much money because we're professional. We need to get into the football league. A fire is lights and heating. That's it. That is true. I could send cheese and ham from Portugal. What's tell me about Portuguese cheese. I'm pretty stereotypically English when it comes to cheese. I'm very bland with my cheese choices. Give me some cheddar, bit of red Leicester, Stilton even. Don't want anything weird though. Brie, for example, is the devil's cheese. Got some onions lying around. You can have those. Yeah, I'll take onions. That's a nice base. So we've got milk and onions on the way so far, and someone's lighting a fire. So at the moment, I've got hot milky onions for tea. That feels like an excellent meal. Just imagine selling that to the kids. What's for tea, Dad? We're having hot milky onions. And you'll like it. That's all they offered us today. My stream wasn't very good. I almost got fired. I could only barter hot milky onions for you. Polish sausages. Or conceivably could have been Polish sausages. Anna used to live across from something that at the side of the door said polish shop, which I assumed sold shoe polish, but it was actually a Polish shop. Words are silly. Can we score a goal, please? What is going on here? Encourage. Did I win the stream of Showdown? Am I a handsome man? Yes. My old roommate used to make tea out of garlic when he was sick. He swears it makes you feel better. I mean, I imagine what that is it's like a motivator thing where your body forces itself to feel better so you can stop drinking garlic tea. I imagine there's no medicinal benefit there. It's like putting a gun to the head of your immune system. I had garlic soup while visiting the Czech Republic. That was pretty great. Cadbury or Hershey's? Well, Hershey's isn't even chocolate, is it? Cadbury's, definitely. I'm English, for goodness sake. Hershey's just tastes like cheap advent calendar chocolate. Milk chocolate or white chocolate or dark chocolate? Dark chocolate. I'm nearly 40. Definitely dark chocolate. That comes with age. The older you get, the darker you like your chocolate. What the hell is going on with this form? I'm furious. Form. Hate it. Right, this is going to be the last match. So I'm getting cross. Plus, non-League Legends out at 4 o'clock. That's the main reason. But let's assume it's because I'm getting cross. Have I yelled at the team yet? I'm yelling at them now. I don't yell at them in game. I'm not that kind of boss. I'm too nice to them. I wouldn't respond well to being yelled at. If someone yelled at me, my reaction would always be, this is why I don't do well having a boss. If a boss yelled at me, my reaction would be, well, I'm not doing anything for you ever again, you scumbag. Speak to me with a little bit of respect. Is this the season after I left for Peterborough? We're like 2 or 3 seasons further on now. Showdown with non-league players. Are we trying to name things that people wouldn't want to watch? No, the category there is things people think they want to see until it actually happens and they realise they're not enjoying it. Everton went full FM on the alley deal, 0 up front, 10 million after he plays 20 games. That's great business. I do wish I had Rashford in my squad, but then I'm in non-league. I think I'd take pretty much any Premier League player. Doesn't have to be Rashford. I think any Premier League player would probably help. Right, we're going to beat Shrewsbury. This is going to be how we kickstart our season. Shrewsbury look like they're in similarly boring form. They're not tumbling down the table, but they're not actually... They're not making any progress against us either. The headline on Sky Sports News has changed and it's now back to being on Ndombele again rather than Dele Alli. I find it interesting. Every low level save I do, my discipline stat goes to 20 in 3 seasons. You're just shouting at them constantly. Well, to be fair, my discipline's quite high as well. My discipline is 20. Despite the fact I've never disciplined anyone. I've got some lovely attributes. I'm wanted. I'm wanted by West Brom. Yeah, I'll go to West Brom. What is going on here? Yeah, I'll go to West Brom. Sneak out of Leamington via the back door. Leamington can't sack me if a championship club want me. They can be grizzly with me all they like, but I'm wanted by a championship club. I'm bigger than this club. I probably am, reputation-wise, bigger than the club if I'm wanted by West Brom. So club is 1.5 star, whereas I am 2.5 stars. So I am bigger than the club. Yeah, this is like getting sacked at Schalke and ending up at Norwich. The multiverse continues to expand. Yeah, I could cope with that. I mean, I'd still like to win the Champions League with Leamington if possible. But it's nice to know if I do get sacked, I could end up at West Brom. Can you imagine they sack me in West Brom, then hire me? What would you think as a West Brom fan in that situation? A guy who's perennially failed to get out of the National League and got sacked by Leamington coming in as your new West Brom manager. Right, final game of the stream then. That is a lovely pink kit that Shrewsbury have got. Best thing would be going to West Brom and relegating Norwich to stay up. Oh, he's got to be offside there. It doesn't matter anyway. What we really need is our Muller corners back. We're missing them. More teams need pink kits. I agree. I've still got a pink Southend shirt somewhere from that save like 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's covered in signatures by lots of people who went to the Nottingham meetup years ago. So I've got a pink Southend shirt that's got Loki's autograph and Dave Azzopardi and Nerdphonic probably signing as One True Nerd and Curty and Herb and who else was there? Me. It's a piece of Football Manager history right there. I've also got a Northampton shirt signed by everyone who played in the Creators Cup game thing that we did at Leamington that Foxy arranged. I haven't had any joy tracking down a new tux yet because we went to my normal tux shop, different from a tux shop, and there was a problem at the tux shop caused by the tux shop because they don't seem to do fat man sizes in any of the really cool stuff. So I need to find somewhere that does fat man sizes in of anything other than just a black or a white tux, because I don't just want to buy the same one I've already got. But any of the nice velvet ones or any of the pretty colours were only available up to like tiny little skinny boy sizes, which is no good to anyone. At the Southend shirt a few years ago, yes. Well, I thought he was thundering that into the top corner. I was going to get all excited. We're going to give up a late goal again here, aren't we? Yeah, Dobell's the shop that I'm talking about. They don't go above a 50-inch chest on velvet tuxedos. Inconsiderate swines. And I have a lot of chest. I am chesty, as you might say. Will I sell my Norwich shirt after finishing my Norwich save? Probably not. I haven't sold any of the other ones. I just accumulate them. One day, I have visions of future Kev looking back through his big box of memorabilia from that time when he had that ridiculous job. It would just be a fun thing to look back on. The memories attached to the different shirts and other weird things that accumulate in our box under the stairs. Stuff to show the grandkids. Yeah, seriously, there was this weird little 5-year spell where people just used to watch me playing Football Manager on the internet. Yeah, I got all this stuff. It's all to do with it. It's mad. Can you believe it? You just used to watch me playing the game. I was pretending to be a football manager and talking about weird stuff, and then just watch me do it. That was my job. I know, it doesn't sound like a real job, does it? But it was for a little while. Because I didn't say everything would be a good memory. That could be a very important goal we've just scored there. Haven't I already been doing this for like 5 years? Oh yeah, I'm expecting to get cancelled any time. If you haven't listened to me on Zealand's podcast yet, you should go and listen to that. I explain on there how I'm constantly expecting the bubble to burst at any moment. Resigned before. Yeah. No, never resign. Do it the Brian Clough way. Always wait to get sacked, then you get a payoff. I think that's how being a YouTuber works. I'm waiting for the payoff. Good. It's not, cancelling is not a thing. Don't use Twitter then, Mike, I take it. Every time I see the name Leamington, I think of the snack. I have no idea what the snack Leamington is. I've never heard of it. That can't be a thing that's available in the UK. 7-time Showdown winner is above mere cancellation. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I thought we were going to concede a ridiculous goal there. Nobody's ever gotten cancelled. Everybody just comes back like nothing was. I mean, yeah, I still watch StatApp daily. It was my early days as a Football Manager content creator. I saw that man get brutally cancelled. And there was no coming back from that. I'd been doing it like a month. So, yeah. Don't tell me cancelling doesn't happen. What did he do? He used the editor in his saves to make his players better. And then said it was for the narrative. and then lied about it and said he didn't do it. And then came out and said, well, I'm going to carry on doing it. But by then it was too late, and just the abuse he got in every video made it impossible for him to carry on. Right, boys and girls, that win was important. We're 18 points behind Port Vale now. Oh my word. We should be back tomorrow afternoon. The appointment that Anna was telling me about is at 11:30. So I think we should probably be okay for a stream tomorrow afternoon again. Just keep an eye on Twitter. I'll keep you up to date one way or the other. But for now, we'll wrap things up here. You've got Non-League to Legend coming up in 5 minutes' time, when you'll find out if we managed to win the Premier League with Norwich or not. Oh, what an afternoon you've still got ahead of you. I'm going to go and sleep because I feel like a broken man. Oh, thank you for watching, boys and girls. Thank you to just for the last few days. It's been mad here on Twitch the last few days, hasn't it? But I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be fresh as a daisy tomorrow. Toodle pip, everybody. Bye.